Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to help you make the most of your summer with Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer worth playing for. Play for it with the guys when you're competing to see who can sink more birdies on the golf course, because winning tastes even better with Ultra on the line. Play for Ultra. Fill your fridge with Michelob Ultra this summer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Walmart Business is in the business of helping your business, regardless of whether you're building bridges, building spreadsheets, or building lesson plans. Ooh, that looks fun. Walmart Business can help save you time, money, and hassle, so you can focus on what you're building instead of what your supply closet is missing. In short, we take care of business, so you can do more with yours. We're the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
Today's top story, the flavor merger of the century between the Peanut Butter Group and Chocolatey Corp. Joining me is a PBC executive.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
Now, how did you know the merger and the byproduct of it, Jif peanut butter and chocolate flavored spread, would be a success?
You know, it was a gut feeling, a rumbling, if you will. Besides, they're two titans of taste.
Very true. Goes great with pretzels.
And pancakes.
Apples too, I bet. Try Jif PBC today.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Hello, and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Austin, also known as Teacup.
And my name is Shelby, also known as She-Cup.
Join us as we embark on unraveling all of your favorite mysteries from the Assassin's Creed universe. From assassins to Templars to the mysterious Isu and more. We will seek to uncover it all, so join us and maybe even take a leap of faith.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby, or She-Cup, and I am one of the co-hosts for this show, and I'm joined here by my other co-host.
Hi, I'm Austin, also known as Teacup.
Yeah, so Austin / Teacup, we have a guest today with us, right?
We do. So today we have with us to come and talk about Ezio, our part 2. So our last episode, we basically did Ezio through most of Assassin's Creed 2. And so we're going to continue that. But we have with us Chris from the Scholars of the Creed. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hi, guys. What's up? Good to be here.
So thanks for being here. We're glad to have you on the show and doing that. We ask all our guests this, just general question. What got you into Assassin's Creed and what keeps you coming back to the series?
That's a hard one. To be honest, what got me into it was a long time ago when the first one came out. I'd never heard of it. I was around at a friend's house and he's put it on. I was like, what is this? And then I just instantly fell in love. And then I played them pretty much every time they came out up until AC4. And it was just because of personal life. Ended up not playing it for a couple of years, and then I came back and then fell in love all over again.
So, like, I guess with a kind of follow-up question, what is like your favorite part, like initially drawing you into the series? Was it the gameplay, the story, something like that?
Honestly, I think it was the parkour, because at the time I hadn't really seen anything like that in games. Like, I played Tenshu when I was a kid. And that was like running about on top of buildings and stuff, and I always thought that was really cool. And then just playing Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and that happening all over again, I was like, yeah, this is really cool. But then when I started to understand what the story was about, that's what really kept me coming back.
Yeah, definitely. For me, and I've said this before, one thing that gets me in thing is a lot of the accuracy, especially in the early games, like accuracy to the time of that time period really drew me. And I was like, oh, this is really cool, like an interesting take, but like there's still this really like historically accurate things that are happening around you.
Yeah, I was watching one of your other podcasts, and I think it was one of your guests that said about all the targets in Assassin's Creed 1 being real people and them dying that exact way.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually happens quite a lot through Assassin's Creed games. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. So I think we'll just start in. So just a recap of what we covered last time. We basically covered Ezio's birth through his journey through taking on the Pazzi and then the Bombardigos and finding the apple and getting inducted into the Assassin Order. And so we pick up with Ezio when we do this. Ezio, Mario, and Machiavelli go to visit Leonardo's shop to see if this inventor can tell them what this apple is, to kind of figure out what it's going. And so Leonardo tells them that the apple should not exist. Like the metal is not something they've encountered before, and that it's highly advanced. And so they decide that they need to hide the apple. So Machiavelli states he wants to hide the apple in Florli, where the assassin ally Caterina Sforza would protect it. So naturally, our boy Ezio here gets real excited to go see Caterina again. And so Ezio signs up to go do all of that. Machiavelli and Ezio travel to Florli. When they meet Caterina outside the city, Caterina reveals that she killed her husband, who was a Templar puppet, who also created a map to find the Codex pages. While this meeting is going on, Florli is invaded and captured by the Orsi brothers, who were the mercenaries that she hired to kill her husband. And they're after the Codex map. So Ezio then assists Caterina in taking back Florli and protecting the Codex map. However, this resulting fight would wound Ezio and would result in him losing the apple to the nine-fingered monk. So this particular story was DLC for Assassin's Creed 2. And I had never played it until I had gotten the Ezio trilogy pack where it was included. Otherwise, if you don't have that DLC and you play the game, you get this little scene where Rebecca and Sean are basically talking over you, and you learn that Rodrigo Borgia had become the Pope and all of this stuff that had happened. And you basically now have a Codex map, but you weren't told anything of how you got that. So this DLC is how that happened. So if you want this story more in detail, go back and play the Ezio trilogy or somewhere else. You can get it on every gaming platform, even the Nintendo Switch. So you can go and play that and steal with that. I will also warn you that the entire DLC is some of the hardest missions in the entire game.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing that DLC, or I don't even remember if I finished all of that, but I had taken a break. Like I think we had gone on vacation or something, and I came back and I was like, oh my God, why is it so hard? It was very difficult. But I was going to ask you, Austin, is this where Caterina, where they threaten to kidnap her children, and she lifts up her dress and is like, well, I can just make more children if I want to?
Yes, this is exactly that DLC.
That was iconic.
Yeah, I found it strange that they chose to make that part of the game DLC. Just take a section out of not the middle, but I mean the last quarter of the game, and then just use it in DLC. So when you actually play the game now in the Ezio collection, it just makes so much more sense.
It really does.
And I was gonna add, it makes no sense to me why game companies do this. Like, it's a really important part of the game. And I mean, I'm just thinking about other DLCs from other companies, like, Dragon Age Inquisition. I always have to plug BioWare, but Dragon Age Inquisition's DLC Trespasser is literally the ending to the game. Mass Effect 3 has a DLC for Leviathan, which explains like the origin of the Reapers that you're fighting. And so I'm like, I know they want to make money. Like, I know that's the primary motivator, but I don't know. Like, doesn't it diminish the story for the people who can't afford the DLC?
Yeah, I would argue, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, play devil's advocate, I guess that section of the game isn't too important, I guess, to the overall story, but it's still part of the story, so.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
It makes sense. Like, without that, it's hard to really like jump into AC Brotherhood and realize like why Katarina is there at the villa. Yeah. And this kind of just adds and explains that. I don't think it's necessarily taking away from the story, but enhances the story a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's
definitely
fair.
So Ezio does not find the apple right away. I mean, if you play this DLC, it's like right after one is like, okay, I got to find the 9-fingered monk and I got to get the apple back. But no, there is a detour. Ezio actually goes to Spain before he ever returns to Florence to try to find the 9-fingered monk and retrieve the apple. So Ezio, still longing for his vengeance against Rodrigo and laments that he lost the apple, he goes to Spain because he decides, since he can't find the apple and he can't strike at the Pope, that he's just going to pull all of his energy into building up the Assassin's Brotherhood. And so his duties eventually do take him to Spain to help the Spanish Brotherhood fight against the Spanish Inquisition, even attempting to assassinate the lead Inquisitor himself. However, Ezio lets him go as he claims to know nothing of Templar plots, which was a lie. He definitely did. And if you want more of this story, we go into it in our episode on the Spanish Inquisition. That's way back in season 1. But you can go and talk about that. And you can also get the Spanish Inquisition story a little bit in the Assassin's Creed movie. It's covered there. But so Ezio does take a little trip to Spain to help the Spanish Brotherhood before he then returns to Florence. And in his efforts to track down the apple and the 9-finger monk, Ezio tracks the monk to Florence, where the monk is using the apple to enslave the people there. So then Ezio would hunt down the monk's lieutenants and free the people from the monk's control. Ezio would then assassinate the monk and take the apple back for the assassins. These are absolutely the hardest missions in the game, even in the DLC, because this is also part of the DLC. There is one particular that I'm sure a lot of Assassin's Creed fans will remember, but it is on a boat and you have to remain undetected while assassinating a ship captain. And there are a lot of guards, and it's a very small area.
Yeah, I remember that. It was not fun.
They also introduced this new mechanic in there where you like run up on a like special like viewpoint thing that like springs you forward. I can never figure out how to do that.
Yeah, it's so finicky, and I don't know why they added that one weird random thing into it, and then never brought it back ever again. So
no,
who knows?
So then Ezio then realizes he now has the codex map for the codex pages, and he has the apple, and so he hunts them all down, and he realizes that the so-called vault from the prophecy and the second piece of Eden are in Vatican City. And so with this, he sets out to the Vatican to kill Rodrigo and prevent the Templars from attaining the vault. Ezio infiltrates the city and attempts to assassinate Rodrigo during Mass. However, Rodrigo uses his staff to counteract Ezio's attempt, and the two fight apple versus staff, basically. So Ezio kind of wins. He also kind of loses, and Rodrigo stabs him, and then he escapes to the vault. Ezio meets him there, where he basically engages Rodrigo into hand-to-hand combat and knocks him out. He then enters. It is in this fight that Rodrigo tells him that God is in the vault, and he tends to ensnare God and use his power. And so Ezio enters the vault, and that's where we get the visit with Minerva, and he's very confused. And who is Desmond? I don't know who that is. I have a lot of thoughts about this particular part of the game because Shelby and I had very similar instances where I was sitting with you while you were playing the game, and you get into the point where you infiltrate the Vatican and you air assassinate Rodrigo, and there's the whole scene where Ezio's like, "Requiescat in pace, you son of a bitch," and Rodrigo's like, "I don't think so," and Shelby with this been like, "What the hell?" Which was the exact same response I had.
Yeah, I was definitely screaming. I was like, this is not how it goes when he says, "Rest in peace, they're dead." And Rodrigo's just like, "Nope, guess again." So it really threw me for a loop for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when it happened. But to be honest, I almost seen it coming because by this point, actually, you said it last week in the other podcast about how people say about the other games being too long, whereas AC2 is actually a really long game. And I think by this point, I was like, I just want this to be over now. I just want this guy to die. So when he came back, I was like, yeah, of course. So
right.
Yeah.
I did say this last in the part 1 of this episode, but Ezio actually has the 3rd highest Templar Order of Ancients kill number.
Oof.
Only beaten by Eivor and Cassandra.
That is insane. Well,
yeah. And when you think about yes, Assassin's Creed 2 is a huge game. It's very long. But when you think about how much bigger Odyssey and Valhalla are compared to 2, the fact that he still is close to them in kill count, that's still really impressive.
Yeah, that is definitely something to be remembered for.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take our break real quick here to do the middle of our show, and then we'll come back with the rest of Ezio's life and AC Brotherhood and Revelation, and we'll talk about that.
All right, let's get into it.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection, and with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and zero cooking. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite food delivered straight to you. Get Burger King, Subway, Popeyes, and hundreds more local favorites and savor every last bite. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot a flying demon!
Malaka! 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 I get the sense you two are ill fit for whatever it is you're plotting.
This one takes us for a fool, brother. We sons of Ragnar have this well under control.
No, we do not.
Sons of Ragnar. I know of many, but never have I heard of Dull and Duller.
All right. Well, welcome to the middle of the show. This is where we talk about all things that have to do with the Assassin's Creed lore cast and not necessarily the lore of Assassin's Creed. So the first thing I have to plug is our Patreon. We are starting up Patreon episodes once per month, starting in February. So in just a few weeks, which means that if you want to join us on the show, you need to sign up really soon. You can sign up. The link is in the episode description and on our social media. You can also go directly to patreon.com/Assassin's Creed Lorecast, and you'll find us there. And then the other thing that I have to shout out, if you can't support us financially, is that the best way to support us otherwise is by leaving us a rating or a review. You can leave us a review with words on iTunes, or you can leave us a rating without words on Spotify. And if you leave us a rating on Spotify where you can't put words, you can also send us an email or message on Twitter or in Discord with some words, and we'll read that out on the show too. And so I do have one to read, and this one comes from Altair's Missing Ring Finger. They are in our Discord. Great name, iconic name. And so they rated us on Spotify and sent us some words to read out. So I will do that now. So they said 5 stars. The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is my favorite podcast to listen to when I want to discover more about the AC world. Austin's knowledge about the world of Assassin's Creed makes me want to dive into deeper parts of the franchise. And Shelby talking to us about her playthrough brings me back to when I first played the games. 6 out of 5 stars. Thank you so much for this awesome review. I'm so thankful that you sent us your review and not just like gave us the number on Spotify. So last thing I have to plug before we talk about my playthrough, very important, is that you should join our Discord server. It's called the Cups Podcasting and More. You can find the link in the episode description. I say this all the time. It's literally the best place on the Discord or on the internet. It's my favorite. We have so much fun. We post a lot of memes. We talk about all kinds of video games, not just Assassin's Creed. And of course, you get to hang out with some pretty awesome people over there. So last thing before we get back to the lore is my playthrough. And I have some really big news. Very big news. I have finished Assassin's Creed 3.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Finally, it took a really long time. I don't think I was expecting that game to be that long.
Yeah, it's a long one. Especially like after how short Brotherhood and Revelation are.
Yeah. Revelation especially was really short, and I totally flew through that.
Did you enjoy 3 then?
Yeah, I did. I really liked it. I was a history minor in college, and so my favorite time period was always like pre-Revolution America. And so I really loved that setting and just learning about all of that, seeing some of the founding fathers, and like Ubisoft's take on it was fun. But I know this is a hot take, but I really enjoyed Connor. I liked him a lot. I wouldn't say that he's my favorite assassin. But I really liked him a lot, and I felt like he was very well portrayed as like a young person, as a teenager. I think it's easy to forget that he's so young just because he doesn't look that young in the game. Like when he's 4, he looks like he's 12, you know? And so I think it's easy to think that he's older than he is, but I have worked with teenagers in my real life job, and they are indeed that angsty. Like they are. So I thought they did a really good job with that. I really enjoyed him. And I also felt like they did a really excellent job portraying the Native American tribe. I was really impressed with how well done that was. I was a little skeptical and afraid that maybe it wouldn't be so well done, but like they used the language of the people, and it was just really well done. And so I really enjoyed it a lot.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because Assassin's Creed 3 is my favourite one, and Connor is my favourite protagonist. And it has been the punch bag of the AC community for a long time. So glad to hear that you like it.
Yeah, I'm glad this timing worked out that you could like come on the show when I finished that game. But why is he your favorite? What do you like about Connor?
See, honestly, I don't really know. I just took to him the first time I played it. I liked him as a person. I liked his Native American background and his tribe. And like I said, being from Scotland, I didn't know much about American history. This game pretty much introduced me to it and made me want to go and look further into it and dive deep into the history. So yeah.
Hey, if there's one thing that America and the Scottish can agree on is hating the English.
There we go.
So true. So true. Well, I think we can get back into Ezio, unless we have other things to add for the mid-break.
Excited to see your takes on the rest of the series, especially since, you're out of the Desmond saga. And
I'm a little sad about it. Oh, this is the last thing I have before we get back to it. This might be another hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take. So I'm like halfway through Liberation already. And Liberation doesn't have any modern day scenes. Like, it doesn't have the modern day aspect at all. And I enjoy it. I like it. I know that the modern day stuff is important. So I think I would miss it, like, if it wasn't there at all forever going forward. But I am really enjoying Liberation. So that's all I got to say about that.
So yeah, we can get back into it.
As a sports fan, I have to confess, sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
Me, Haytham. I come in peace.
Why are you speaking so slow?
Sorry.
What? I was told you could train me.
No. Go away.
I'm not leaving!
Bianca! Bianca!
Is everything all right?
What do you think? Look at this place. And poor Bianca. If something's happened to her. Aha! Oh, my darling. Thank God you're all right. Ezio, meet Bianca. Bianca, Ezio.
Charmed.
So that's the end of Assassin's Creed 2. And Assassin's Creed Brotherhood literally picks up right where it left off. Like the opening scene is Ezio in the vault screaming, "Who is Desmond? What's going on?" He basically leaves. He attempts to escape Rome with Mario. And this is where he gives the apple to Mario and they're to return to the Villa Auditore. Ezio then comes back and is greeted by his family and the other assassins as they celebrate their victory. Though Machiavelli is not happy that Ezio spared Rodrigo. Again, we have a theme here with Ezio of sparing Templars. And so he's not happy, but Ezio does not care because he has a very nice time with the one and only Caterina.
Which that sex scene is weirdly long.
I know, it is. It is weirdly long. And like we've now set the precedent here of, because AC2 also opens with like a weirdly long and interesting sex scene with Christina. And so, but Ezio has that. My favorite part of this game is when you go into the modern day storyline and Desmond has to swim through the sewers, and he's like, Ezio gets a bath with Katerina Sforza, and I have to swim through poop.
Oh, actually, now that you mention it, see that whole sequence of Desmond and Lucy running through the cave underneath Motor and Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I found it very cringy. The whole dialogue between each other is just so weird.
Right. And I never for use the internet term, I never really shipped Desmond and Lucy.
Yeah. I knew there was something up there the whole time. I was like, I don't trust her.
I don't trust her, even if you do look and sound like and are Kristen Bell. I don't trust you. So the next morning, all is not well in Italy because the Borgia show up. And so the next morning, Ezio is woken up to what he thinks is a testing of cannons, but it's actually a siege by the Borgia, led by Cesare Borgia, the son of Rodrigo and commander of the papal armies. And so this siege basically results in the destruction of all of the Altair gear that you worked so hard to find into, the loss of all your money, and you are injured and lose a lot of your abilities. And so it also results in the death of Mario Auditore and the capture of Caterina Sforza and the Apple of Eden being taken by the Borgia. All in all, a really big loss.
I just have to say, I was so upset when I lost all my money. I had so many plans. I was going to renovate everything. Not really, but I was upset about it.
So Ezio then heads to Rome to liberate the city and retrieve back the Apple of Eden. So Ezio systematically takes down the Borgia while building up the Assassin Brotherhood in Rome. He eventually retrieves the Apple of Eden and defeats Cesare and hides the apple in the Colosseum in Rome. Now, that is a very, very brief synopsis of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. There is a lot that happens in there, and you can go play the game to experience that. But I do want to talk about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as a game here for a minute, because it is my favorite of the Ezio trilogy. And I just think, I know it got a lot of criticism, but the whole introduction of the Brotherhood and the ability to do that, I enjoyed the storyline with the Borgia. I always say that Cesare and Lucrezia Borgia walked so Jaime and Cersei could run. There's our obligatory Game of Thrones reference.
I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on Brotherhood?
I mean, I like it. I mean, I like them all. But yeah, no, I really like the introduction of the Assassin Brotherhoods and making your wee deaf children, bringing them up nice.
I also really enjoyed Brotherhood. I go back and forth. I don't know if Brotherhood or Revelations is my favorite of the Ezio trilogy. Maybe it is Brotherhood. I don't know. I can't decide. There are definitely things I like about both of them, but I will say, I said this on the last episode, Ezio in Brotherhood is the most attractive of all the Ezios. Just putting that out there, in my opinion. Other people can disagree if they want to, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But I agree with y'all that I really enjoyed building up your little assassin army, and I don't know what the move is called, where you basically call them all to assist you, and everyone dies instantly.
The Arrow Storm.
Yeah.
The Arrow Storm. Thank you. Yeah, that was amazing. Loved that so much.
Let me ask you this then. What is your favourite Ezio outfit of the three then? Because I mean, I love Brotherhood, the game, but that outfit I really don't like.
Oh, especially when you go in with the armor in the training thing, that's the weird red and black armor with that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like that. I am predisposed to the original, like the white one, but I also like the look in Revelations, but I agree that the Brotherhood look is the worst of the three for sure.
Yeah. I do like I like the robes without all the armor on it.
Yeah.
Like it's more of it's less of like kind of an off-white. And I like that a lot. So yeah, I also like Brotherhood. I do think Brotherhood is where we start to kind of see some like shoehorning into historical things, like the whole I'm not a huge fan of the whole like Machiavelli being like, I'm gonna write a book about you, and Ezio being like, make it short.
Well, what do we think about Cesare and Lucrezia? Like, is their relationship, is that real? Like, did that really happen? I really know nothing about them at all.
I'm not sure. I know that there are some historical like references to the Borgia and incest. And I mean, like, Rodrigo Borgia was actually Pope. I believe he's Pope Alexander the Third or something like that. And he was a Pope with children. Like, these were actual people. He's not the first Pope with children, but
I think there was rumors of incest between them, but I don't know if it was ever proven. But again, I don't actually know a lot about the whole thing.
All right.
I have seen people talking on Twitter recently about how the outfits were so wrong for them or something, but I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't know.
I think that for me, at least, one thing that gets me, at least in the outfits and stuff, is there's so much metal, especially in like Cesare's outfit, and they would not have worn around that much metal all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think with that's Brotherhood, and Ezio just kind of like continues to build up the Italian Brotherhood until he basically leaves at the beginning of AC Revelations. And we're not told this, but actually Ezio chooses Claudia to take over the Italian Brotherhood in his stead while he's off in the Holy Land, which I think makes sense.
I mean, I think it is kind of implied though, because he's writing all these letters to her and she's like updating him about what's going on. So I feel like it is implied, at least, if not outright said.
Right. But I think that makes sense. And I wish we could get maybe a book or a comic or an offshoot of Claudia running the Italian Brotherhood. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
So he discovers, while he's working on building up the Italian Brotherhood more, he discovers letters from his father to his uncle that speak of a sealed library in Masyaf, the Library of Altair. And so Ezio then kind of gets wind that we probably need to find this before the Templars do. And so he attempts to get into the library, but is captured by the Templars, which that is the scene that was the advertisement for Assassin's Creed Revelation, that was back when they were doing like live action trailers for Assassin's Creed games. And that's one of my favorite like cinematic fights from the Assassin's Creed series is Ezio in Masyaf.
With the best song.
Yes, with the best song. So he attempts to, in that fight, his hidden blade is broken. His spare hidden blade, not the one from his father. And he's captured by the Templars and is forced to escape. He then goes to he's forced to escape, and you have, again, what is not the worst, but the second worst carriage mini thing in the entire series. I hate dragging on that cord. Do y'all remember that?
It was very rough. I think I had to do it like 7 times before I finally did it.
Not as bad as driving through the Italian mountains with Leonardo.
Yeah, that one was probably worse. Right. I'll be honest right now, Revelations is the game I've played the least. But I did thoroughly enjoy it.
Right. I like Revelations, not for the Ezio story, but for the Altair stories.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite parts of those games.
I agree. It made me really like appreciate Altair, because I really did not enjoy Assassin's Creed 1 because it was really hard for me to play, and I just There was so much I didn't know. So it made me like Altair a lot, and learning so much more about him and his wife, and just like how much he struggled after with all of the stuff that happens. It was just really good, and I appreciated it. So I think that's another reason why I like Revelation.
Yeah. So he goes to Constantinople after escaping, and he's going to track down the keys to Altair's library, the Masyaf keys. And he's greeted by Yusuf Tanzin, who is a kind of leader assassin in the basically Turkish Brotherhood. And he also catches a glimpse of a pretty girl who we learn is named Sofia Sartor. And Yusuf tells Ezio the Templar plots and their control of Constantinople we learn that they're called the Byzantines, and they're fighting for control. Ezio then works to remove the Templars from the city and does all of that. While doing this, he meets Sofia Sartor, and she agrees to help him find the Masyaf keys. Ezio defeats the Templars and begins a romantic relationship with Sofia. I wrote in my notes, beat the bad guy and got the girl. Ezio does it all. Sofia and Ezio then go to Masyaf and retrieve the library, though Ezio remarks that the contents are not for him and leaves while Desmond hears the message through Ezio in 2012. And that's really Revelation. And I will say this, Revelation has the funniest scene in all of Assassin's Creed, which is Ezio is the minstrel.
Oh, I love that mission.
Yes. It makes me laugh every time.
It also has one of the cutest scenes in all of Assassin's Creed. I guess I haven't played them all yet, so I can't say that definitively. But the quest where he goes and picks the flowers for Sofia is just so sweet, and it just shows you how much he cares about her. And yes, he's been a playboy, but he is capable, obviously, of love too. And I just think that was so cute.
So that's the end of Assassin's Creed Revelation. So we basically get his end of life now, is where we're going with that. And so Ezio and Sofia do end up getting married. They settle down near Florence, where they live a happy life with their children, Flavia and Marcello. So Ezio's life he's retired as an assassin. I think he's the only assassin that we actually get to see retire. And he wouldn't have a lot of exciting events that happen, but he does have a big event that happens, which is the training of Xiao Jun, which is a Chinese assassin that comes to him for help in defeating the Templars that are in China. And this is the events of AC Embers, the short film that comes with the Ezio trilogy that you can watch there if you have that. And basically Ezio trains her up and teaches her while she's trying to defeat these Templars and learn from him. This movie does follow Ezio to the end of his life. So we have some scenes with Sofia and some happy things, and then Ezio takes a trip to Florence with his children and watches them play, and he has a conversation with a young man who very much resembles Ezio when we first meet him, and then he dies on a park bench, basically, in Florence at 65.
Sad moment. Although I wrote down a quote here that's actually from Embers. I think it's the best quote in all of Assassin's Creed, and it's part of a conversation that Ezio's having with Xiao, and it says, "Love binds our order together, love of people, of cultures, of the world. Fight to preserve that which inspires hope, and you will win back your people." And I think that encapsulates the Assassin Brotherhood so well.
Yeah, definitely. I really do think that. And there are I say a lot that, I have certain assassins that I think really embody the Assassin's Creed really well. One of them is Connor. I think Connor really sticks true to what it means to be an assassin. And obviously Bayek and Aya are up there. You can't really get more assassins than them. But Ezio is up there and a real commitment to the Creed. But before we get into kind of why we love and hate or don't like Ezio, I have some fun facts, some behind the scene facts, which this is fun. Ezio and Altair's names share similar meanings. Altair, in kind of like the Middle Eastern Arabic languages, means the flying one, and Ezio means eagle, both fitting names for assassins. Ezio is 6 foot. I did not check to see if this made him the tallest assassin, though I'm pretty sure that Cassandra and Alexios are taller than 6 feet. But that's according to the wiki. He is 6 feet.
I don't know why, but I've always had it in my head that Ezio's this wee guy.
Yeah, see, let's see. Assassins that I think are short. Well, obviously, like Evie Fry is shorter, but she's not like below average. You know, for some reason, I feel like Shay is short.
Yeah.
He's not really an assassin, though, I guess. And my last fun fact, Darby McDevitt, who is the lead writer of Assassin's Creed Revelation and is a big writer across Assassin's Creed, across all the board, states that Ezio did father other children outside of Sofia. And it was one of these illegitimate children's that would be the ancestry of Clay Kazimierz.
So I have a follow-up question to that.
Uh-huh.
So does he give you details about whether or not those children that he fathered outside of his relationship with Sofia occurred during his relationship with her, or is it before?
From what I read, the quote, it was like during his time as basically, Darby McDevitt is basically like, there's no way that Ezio didn't father other children.
Right. I just didn't I didn't want us to imply that he meant that Ezio was a cheater.
Right. No. Ezio might be a playboy, but once he commits, he commits.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But another thing about this is I think this implies that Desmond's line is directly from Ezio and Sofia's relationship, whereas Clay's was not. But I mean, it's so far back that who knows? So our last question for like this character deep dive is like, why do you love or not like Ezio? What are your favorite things about him? Do you think he's a compelling character? All these kind of questions, or just general thoughts about Ezio.
I like Ezio. I really do. I still think he's the most overrated thing about Assassin's Creed, but and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that one, but it's just he's been the poster boy the whole time, but there's so many other great assassins and they need their time to shine. But no, I really like Ezio. It's the only guy we've seen from birth to death for this whole story, and I mean, it was really great.
I don't disagree with you that he is like the most hyped assassin. But I think the reason why is because we see so much of him. Like, you're right, we see him from birth to death. And not only that, like, he has great character development following him from the beginning of Assassin's Creed 2 all the way to his death. Like, you see him as a person, as a human being who's grown and changed and, you know, had a life of mistakes and adventures and great things and hard things. And he almost feels like a real person because we know so much about him, because we've seen him develop, because of just everything we've seen. And I think some of the other assassins, we absolutely don't get that much information. And I think going back to Connor, you know, he really has only gotten half a game. I don't feel like Connor has been given as much as he should be. Like, we should have more development from all the assassins, not just Ezio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, Ezio is like, he's a poster child for a reason because a lot of people connected with him for whatever reasons. So, I mean, that says it all, really.
There was a video once talking about like who are the deadliest assassins.
Yeah.
And in my own list, I actually rank Ezio pretty low. For me, the deadliest assassins are a tie between Connor and Bayek.
Yeah.
Just because I think that not only do they have the element of surprise and training and stealth like that, but they can hold their own if they're out of that element. Whereas I feel like once you get Ezio out of the method of surprise, he's squishy.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
And so I think that he is a little bit overhyped. I do really love him. I think he's hilarious. I think that Ubisoft has not quite captured his level of charm in a protagonist since Ezio. They have tried with Jacob Fry, with Arno, with Edward. They have tried to kind of capture that charisma, but I don't think that because we spent so long, they won't do it. They won't ever be the same.
Yeah, I really noticed it with Arno. They tried to push the kind of cheeky, cracking jokes here and there type guy. But I liked it. I thought, like I said before, everyone likes him for a reason. So that's why they've tried to recreate characters in that image. But I don't think they'll ever be able to recapture that. I think they should just keep pushing on and making new assassins and giving us new stories.
So that's really all we got for Ezio. Chris, thank you for being on the show. We enjoy having you, and thanks for your insight. If you want to take a moment, just kind of plug the things you do with Scholars of the Creed and all of that.
Yeah, well, at Scholars of the Creed, we're basically a fan group. And our plan is to put out information about history, art, science, these types of things, man, that are in the Assassin's Creed universe. You can find us on Twitter right now, just at Creed Scholars, and we just made an Instagram today, actually, at the same name. And keep a lookout, because our website will be coming back rebuilt with all our new articles on it very soon.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for being here. And Shelby, I think that's all we got.
I think so. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris. This has been a really awesome episode. I'm glad you got to join us. We may have to ask you back in a future episode, but we had a blast. So thank you all for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We will see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at Assassin's Creed Lorecast, or you could talk to us on Discord in the Robots Radio Discord or our personal Discord server, both links found in this episode's descriptions. Thank you for listening, and always stay to the shadows to serve the light, Assassins.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to live better? We've got a lot of work to do. Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live Better Now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live Better Now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.